for the lawyers here. Is there a standard of evidence in impeachment trials, or should there be? And the reason why I ask is that in 2012, during the Corona impeachment, one of the key issues raised by then Senator Santiago, Defensor Santiago, was what would be the standard of evidence. Now, for non-lawyers, the standard of evidence is basically how much proof should there be before a particular judgment is given by a court, and in this case, the Senate. Is that question at all relevant? Does it risk the over-legalization of impeachment, and what would be the consequences of that? Commissioner Sarmiento, and then probably Professor Te and Senate President Rilon.
If I recall right, it was an issue during the impeachment of President Estrada. And again, an issue during the impeachment of Chief Justice Corona. What is the quantum of evidence? Should it be proved beyond reasonable doubt or sufficient evidence? Again, to the best of my recollection, it was not proved beyond reasonable doubt. It's just very difficult. I think it was sufficient evidence would be enough as guide for the senators in, well, convicting or acquitting the respondent.
Well, I don't think proof beyond reasonable doubt is a standard. That's only for crimes, I think during the time of, during the impeachment of Corona, what was actually followed was the overwhelming preponderance of evidence. Preponderance of evidence, in one case it has been said that it's more than 50% chance of getting the desired result. So, again, it's because it's the Senate which is given the sole power to come up with its rules, then we respect whatever burden of proof the Senate will exact from the parties, but certainly not proof beyond reasonable doubt. Thank you.
Senate President Rilon.
Remember that the senator judges are not lawyers. Maybe some are lawyers, some are not. But having said that, there is simply no standard of evidence that is required. Each senator judge would make a judgment on the basis of his or her appreciation. There is no standard that is imposed because it's simply not possible to impose that kind of standard. Because in the first place, we say that the impeachment court is a class of its own. So, from that alone, you can have many consequences. And it's difficult, really difficult to impose any standard because the members of the court are simply politicians in the first place. They are not lawyers in every instance. So it is addressed to their conscience how they would perceive the evidence presented.
Thank you, Senate President Rilon.